Maybe you didn't expect it, but winter sports are no longer reserved only for snowy northern nations. Even countries known for tropical climate show up at the world stage this year at the Winter Olympics. And watching athletes from unexpected places compete at the Olympics sparked our curiosity. How do they train? Where do they train? Where do they come from? Let's discover together and let's get started. Welcome back to the Waver Way Founders. We are your hosts, Malcolm and Diana.
Hi Diana, it's so good to be back and discussing yet another topic on the Winter Olympics. But this one I feel is so cool. We've had, as you said, a lot of countries that are not necessarily in northern hemispheres, so we're not seeing that heavy winter season, but yet they're competing and holding their own at the Winter Olympics. So this is good to get a chance to look at a few of those.
And also because maybe is something known already, but a lot of these athletes, their first time at the Winter Olympics, or they are just one of their nation and they represent the whole nation. I think that is so incredible for them. Being part of an Olympic is just an honor and a great achievement. So it's really cool to discover that.
I think you've said it about right there. Number one is representing your nation at the Olympics. Number two is being the first athlete to compete and the flag bearer and the only one in this case for your nation. It's an amazing feat. And I'll start us off with my home nation. We actually had someone competing as a skier, an alpine skier, and he was at just 18 years old. Isaiah Gashingiri Labotte de Pierre, who hails out of France but is Kenyan by nationality, made history as our flag bearer and a standout alpine skier. I mean, it's one of those stories where he was the only one. So it's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, but it is pretty amazing and it's a legendary moment at such a young age. It's going to open doors for a lot of the next generation exploring these sports. And his performance in all puts Kenya on the spotlight, and I would like to just talk a little bit about why to visit Kenya. While he might have looked at home on the ice, Kenya isn't necessarily known for a cold climate. We're a tropical zone and we love it like that. If you're into your wildlife, if you're into beautiful beaches, this is a place to visit. Our main attraction, of course, is a wildlife safari. If you want to see the giant animals such as elephants, giraffes, or the really powerful lions right in the wild, this is a place to visit. But we do have some snow in Kenya. It's just on top of the largest freestanding mountain in the world, Mount Kilimanjaro. You can climb this inactive volcano, but most people probably just settle for a view as it is one of the best views in the country, because when you go and see Mount Kilimanjaro, you're more likely going to be in one of our national parks that is known for its own giants, which are elephants. So you get to see two giants. It's honestly a breathtaking experience. But even if you're not really into the wildlife, we are known to have one of the best beaches in the world, which is Diani Beach. Think white sandy beaches with beautiful ocean water that is quite warm in comparison to especially these northern countries, and some would say it almost even rivals the Caribbean. So it's a must visit. It's a must visit location.
And you are from there, so what do you prefer? You prefer the mountain, Kilimanjaro, or you prefer the sea with the white and beautiful sand?
Ooh, good question. So I think personally I prefer the wildlife. So it's got to be Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, the elephants, the lions. It's just a great time. The beach is nice. I can't complain about the beach, but man, those wild animals just make my day.
Yeah, I bet. And have you ever had the chance to, touch a lion or even go up on the top of an elephant?
So
I don't know if you can do it actually.
No, you can't ride the wild animals, but what you can do is you can get really close to elephants. Especially if you visit one of the sanctuaries where they actually care for orphaned baby elephants. So if you're in the capital city of Nairobi, you can spend your lunchtime actually feeding these baby elephants or watching them get
Super
fed.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all roll up from where they live, and they come and they're fed by the workers who have these giant, almost cartoonish baby bottles that they use to feed them. And while they're feeding them, they walk around where you are, and if you're close enough, you can actually get to touch them and feel them, and it's a very nice experience. So that's as close as I've got to an elephant. Giraffes as well. If you're interested in feeding time at the giraffe center in the capital city of Nairobi as well, you can go over and you can feed giraffe pellets to the giraffes. Some people take it a bit too far in my mind and they feed the giraffe straight out of their mouth, but it's an experience. Yeah, giraffes have very long tongues. It's kind of nasty, but
Yeah, I think
but it's
the
good.
movie Madagascar told me that.
Yes, true. Melvin, as he's known, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good. Yeah, they basically are just as clumsy as the penguin, as the giraffe from Madagascar. So, but they're beautiful to see in real life. So, if it's wildlife, Kenya is a destination, I would say.
Wow. I mean, who wouldn't know that a person from Kenya, after all, love to ski and respect, I don't know, doing other activities such running, because we all know that Kenyan are super good at running. So
Exactly. I mean, this is so good to see. I love the idea that we're branching out into sports that we were never part of. There is talk of a Kenya ice hockey team because we do have an indoor skating rink, but it's still in early days and we're still learning. So this to hear that we have actually managed to get a skier to participate in the Winter Olympics it's groundbreaking, and we can only hope for better things in the future.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you should be proud of your nation.
Yeah. Yes, I'm proud. I mean, I'll just talk about the second country I have on my list, which is Jamaica. Known for good vibes, man. Jamaica is probably one of those cities where it's all about the green, the sandy beaches, and the vibes culture. But this year, Jamaica was represented by one Mika Moore, who was actually going to the Winter Olympics as a person who's bobsledding, but that wasn't her first time at international games, because she was actually part of Team Wales in the 2012 Commonwealth Games, where she was a sprinter in the 4x100. So she switched sports and decided to take on bobsledding, and she just happens to be from Jamaica. It sounds almost exact to the storyline of the movie Cool Runnings, if anyone's watched that. So she was part of a team and was once again co-flag bearing for her country, and she had a great performance in the qualification. It's just nice to see that even for smaller nations like Jamaica, they're able to tie in with people who are probably living in other countries where Mika Moore is living in Wales. So I'm pretty sure she can get to practice a bit more. But if you follow her on socials, you can see that it's been a journey of her finding different places to practice, really starting from scratch and making it to the Olympics. So it's so great to see. And when we talk about Jamaica, we all know why everyone goes to Jamaica. It's got to be for the beachside island life.
I mean, that's the vibe when you want to have a beautiful and chilly music and then drink something on the beach beside. I mean, that is the destination that you want.
Absolutely. So what it's known for is the beautiful islands and reggaeton vibes. But if we're also looking at interesting aspects of Jamaica, there's a unique activity such as climbing the Dun River Falls or ziplining, which is pretty cool for a small island nature. But if we want to go even into more unique activities, you can visit the Luminous Lagoon, which is home to these microscopic organisms that emit bioluminescence. So it creates an electric, almost glistening blue glow in the water at night. So hop on a boat at nighttime and you get to watch the water light up beneath you, and that's going to be an experience you'll never forget.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it seems so romantic, also cinematic, and I didn't know about this anything so dreamy. I really want to
Yes.
try it, to see at least something these things in real life, because I cannot imagine how cool it could be to see it.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why we need to get people traveling, and that's why you need to see these places like Jamaica and have these unique experiences. That one was also very unique. When I Googled it and found out more about it, I was like, wow, I didn't expect that to be something that Jamaica were known for, but here we are. For my third and final country, I had to go with New Zealand. This list for me wouldn't be complete without talking about an athlete that actually made it onto the podium and has made it onto the podium in previous games. Zoe Swandowski-Synnott, who's known pretty well throughout the world of snowboarding, be it during the X Games. She's pretty much a legend in the sport at this moment. But she was the flag bearer for New Zealand, and she actually won two silver medals in 2026. But that's adding to her gold she had won in 2022 and the bronze she had even won in the games earlier. So she's been at the games a couple of times, and she's now known as a force for New Zealand and shows how resilient they are at sports.
Yeah, I think that you can prove it also when you're talking about rugby. They're really good. So
Yeah.
they're really resilient in each sport.
They are, and they're such a small island nation, but they just seem to always do so well in different types of sports. But if we're talking about New Zealand as a destination to visit, and if we decide to discuss travel outside what a lot of people know it for, which would be the rolling Shire hills of Lord of the Rings, New Zealand is still stunning. If we keep in the true nature of Zoe's South Island upbringing, which is a part of the island that she grew up on, we can explore that side of the country and realize that they have such unique nature destinations. For example, if you're looking for a mild weather fjord experience, why not visit Poipoitai, which can also be known as Milford Sound. You can kayak on still waters surrounded by breathtaking views, including Mitre Peak, which is a mountain that rises a full kilometer out of the sea. Here, as with most of these areas, you can find a year, because in New Zealand you do have quite a few waterfalls, but out of all those waterfalls, about only 2 of them are actually waterfalls all year round, and both of these are found in this area. The first one is Lady Bowen, and the second one is Staring Falls. If you're into waterfalls and an active sort of holiday, this is probably where you should be going. But also, if you're into wildlife as well, Fiordland is actually known to be the location of the crested penguin, the Fiordland crested penguin. So if you're really into penguins as well,
So cool.
yeah, I didn't know there were penguins in New Zealand, so this
now I wanna go
Yeah.
simply to see penguins. I love penguins.
Exactly. I think I've seen penguins once. And after I saw them, I was like, I need to see them in the wild now, not in a zoo. I want to see them in the wild. So
They're so cute.
they are. And what's beautiful about New Zealand is that it's also very mild when it comes to weather. This area, we're talking about 19 degrees in the summer, but it'll only go up and it'll only drop to about 10 degrees in the winter. So it's a perfect escape for all year round. And if you want more action from New Zealand, head over to Bay of Plenty, which has wildlife marine tours, and you can see dolphins, whales, orcas, and whitewater rafting, or even e-biking. Basically, any adventure you'd want to have, you can have it at Bay of Plenty. So that's a must-visit province for any traveler.
That's incredible. Look at it. Who would have thought about New Zealand that could offer a lot of activities and like a perfect country for do anything that you want. So that's great.
Yeah,
That's so good.
I think it's amazing. And yeah, that's a great way to round off my list. So I would love to hear about the places that you figured out and the athletes.
Yeah, so we go back to Africa and we start with Benin. And for the first time this year, Benin was one of the nations participating at the Winter Olympics, and it was represented by Nathan Chiboso, that is an alpine skiing. He had the opportunity to do the debut of his own country. As you said before, many athletes don't train in their own country, especially because they don't have the facilities to do that. So in this case, Nathan go to Switzerland and France to train. Professional athletes don't train themselves in their own country most of the time, or they need to train in different parts of the world simply because they need to also change the landscape and train in a different way. And that is interesting. I didn't know that, and was a really nice curiosity.
Yeah, I do think it's a part of sports that you have your national country that you represent, but a lot of times you're practicing, you're training, you're working for other sports like clubs outside your country. It gives you a different aspect on the world. It allows you to get this variation in training that usually works out well. So this is great to hear that this athlete from Benin is actually training around the world.
And even though he didn't actually finish his competition because that day the snow was a lot, and a lot of professional athletes didn't finish the competition. It was the giant slalom and the slalom competition, and if you watch it, it was really difficult for all athletes. And I think that just a third of the athletes that went there really was able to finish, because sometimes they fall, other time they weren't able to do the curve because then the snow was a little bit tricky. And so yeah, at the end of all, he represent his country, and that's, as I said before, it's just an honor to just be a part of this super interesting and wonderful experience that is the Olympic.
Good for him. I think his country is proud, and he'll be very proud for participating, and almost a baptism of fire having to go out and actually do your slalom on one of the hardest days with the heaviest snow, but he survived and he did well.
Yeah, exactly. The important thing that he did it, no matter what. He did it.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't scared to not do it. He did it, and that's the important thing.
That's important. True.
And when it comes to Benin as a country, we can talk about a city. It's really interesting because it offers a unique fusion of Brazilian culture, especially in Porto Novo, that is the official capital. It has these Afro-Brazilian architectural influences, and somehow gives you the vibe of the period of the 20th century when the people were enslaved by Brazil. And so visitor can really explore this type of history, especially colonial history, through museum and also this beautiful mosque inspired by the Brazilian church architecture. Also, you could go to another city called Cotonou. If Porto Novo is the capital city, Cotonou is the economic city of Benin. And here there is the most energetic and lively market that you could have in a country. It's called Antokpa Market, and is an open air market. It is one of the biggest open air market in West Africa. It offers you not only food but also clothes, everything that you could possibly imagine in a market, you can find it there. And another cool thing that you could visit in Benin is the village called Gambier. It is near the lake Nokoe, and it was founded by a slave when they escape. and it's often called as the Venice of Africa. So you can imagine how stunning it could be. With a lot of community lives entirely on the water, using boats for transportation and for trade and for daily activities. And also, visitor can explore and have this type of experiences. And now I'm asking you, have you ever went to Benin?
Well, I've never been to Benin, but that is definitely high on my list, especially now with the ability to maybe explore Nakuen and the Venice of Africa, because that sounds like something that I would like to see. They obviously have a troublesome history with enslavement from Brazil, but it's glad to see that they're able to get some sort of empowerment out of that experience, and you can go and see some of that history and to even just think about how that country has changed and shaped into a really great destination now.
And Benin also offers a lot when it comes to a natural landscape. You can go to the Panjari National Park. It's one of the most important wildfire reserves that you have in the West Africa, where you can see elephants, lions, hippos, and also a lot of bird species. So if you are into birds watching, that is the place for you. And you can also go to the Tanago waterfall that is located near the Atacora mountains, and there you can have a peaceful retreat and see one of the beautiful waterfall that is West Africa. So here's a lot of things, and also a lot of interesting food. When it comes to food, African foods, we know that we need to expect a lot of spice. Not as spicy as Indian, but it has their own way to spice the food. And for example, amigo is a spiced tomato maize dish. Also, akasa is spice, but is a fermented corn dough. And when it comes to another traditional dish, we can talk about pati or pate. That is maize or yam dough. I see here a lot of vegetable, which is good. A lot of time we talk about country with fish, with meat in their traditional food, but here it seems like the complete opposite, which is good. We can explore also this type of dishes and try them when we go there, if you get the chance.
Absolutely. I think that is a great menu that I am ready to explore.
And for my second country, I have Malaysia. Malaysia this year were represented by a woman. Her name is Arwin Selehuddin, and she is an alpine skier. And he participated to the giant slalom and slalom. And she was the only representative of the country, and also the flag bearer. Both at the opening and the closing ceremony. So also for her was just a great opportunity to showcase her abilities. She, in this case, completed the competition, even though she didn't win, even though she was one of the last athletes, but still, she participated, she did really well, and we are so proud of her, even though we are not from Malaysia.
Yes, I agree. All props to her for finishing. The spirit of the Olympics is in participation, and she did well, and wow, so good to hear.
And I discovered that Malaysia has a lot of interesting towns, and also a lot of places that maybe you couldn't expect, such as Georgetown. Georgetown is on Penang Island and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city is known for its colonial building, colorful street art, and multicultural heritage. It is really, really, really good if you are into Chinese tradition, because here there is the traditional Chinese waterfront communities, where that is often described as a Malaysia culinary capital. So if you are into Chinese food and you are like in Malaysia, that is the place for you, because you can have a really delicious, tasteful, and
I agree, and I'm ready to have some of that Malaysian Chinese fusion.
If you don't have the chance or the money to go to China, because China It's a bit pricey buying the flight to go there. Maybe another option if you still want to visit a city, a country that offers you Asian experience that could be similar. Of course, it's different but similar to China. You can go to Malaysia, and it offers to you a lot of unique experience, such this one in Georgetown. But also you can go to Kuala Lumpur. That is one of the most unknown city, but at the same time so known in the Asia community because it's a metropolis. We talk about it a little bit in our movie, no movie. We didn't make a movie in our
episode.
About the destination of 2026. And as we promised, we're gonna talk about a little bit more about Kuala Lumpur. Is a metropolis full of modern skyscrapers. You have the skyscraper on a part, and on the other part you have the colonial architecture and temples. Here you have the Petronas Twin Towers that dominate the skyline and symbolize Malaysia rapid development. And the city also offers you unacceptable street food influenced by Malay, Chinese and Indian cultures. You can also do a bridge site here. Malaysia is also famous for or known for the Hindu religion. And so Kuala Lumpur is really a unique city. You have a lot of things. You have economic part, the modern part, also religion part, and after all, to end all, you have to go to a restaurant and eat something really good with the gastronomic atmosphere that Kuala Lumpur offers you. So why not go to a Kuala Lumpur if you want to have a metropolis that is a little bit different, that is a little bit more new than usual. I didn't know about the city. We discovered now about the city and it seems so interesting.
I agree. I'm definitely adding it to my list of cities to visit in the future because, as we had discussed in our previous episode, it's a bit of a hidden gem in terms of cities to visit. And I never need any other excuse to go to Malaysia. So this is perfect.
Yeah. And if Kuala Lumpur is one of the newest cities, we should talk about something a little bit more older. I want to talk about a little bit more older. I'm talking about the rainforest Taman Negara. It's one of the older rainforests in the world. It's estimated to have more than 130 million years. So it's like something so old and still, part of our world, because we know that we destroy a lot of our world. So to be able to have this part of the nature still with us, that is incredible.
That's pretty cool. I think that's a forest that deserves to be visited.
And the park is a park that features also canopy walks suspended above the jungles. I mean, that's super cool. You are part of nature. You're like the little guy in the jungle, like the book, The Jungle.
George in the jungle. Or like, yeah, or if you like the Jungle Book.
Yes.
Mowgli. Yeah. Yeah.
You could be like him, just
or Tarzan.
flying to a tree and the other, just exploring the forest. Why not? And you have here, of course, monkeys, exotic birds, and also mammals. You have everything. And if you don't want to walk, you can have also river cruises. Gives you the same experience, but with the comfort of the boat. But still, you can see the rainforest, the nature of the rainforest, and the nature of the rainforest also in the boat, because you can have also animal swimming around you, and that's all running beside you, and that's so super cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know it, and it's so cool, and now I really want to go.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, so what would you prefer? Would you be more into the rainforest, or would you be more into the boat and seaside?
Well, if I have a good cover spray that cover me all the body with the mosquito, because I'm allergic to mosquito, I will definitely go for a hike in the rainforest. If I don't have that, I might be dying. So the river.
Well said. Yeah, yeah. The river cruise. Yeah. Oh, the mosquitoes.
I don't know if in this rainforest there are a lot of mosquitoes, but usually in this type of climates there are a lot of mosquitoes. So yeah,
Yeah.
for my health.
No, I think that's a good choice. Yeah.
Or I go there, suffer a lot of cold, a lot of hot because I will cover my body with a lot of clothes.
With everything, yeah, so you don't get bitten.
But still, mosquito is really, really good to bite you, even if you are all covered.
Through the clothes.
Even if you're wearing jeans,
Yeah.
you can still have bites on your legs. I mean, wow. How do they do that?
They are, they're legit one of the nastiest, annoying insects out there. Through jeans, through t-shirts, through even a coat sometimes. Like, it's annoying.
And you can hear them, but you cannot see them.
You can't see them.
Why that? And
That's
especially
true.
they arrive you during the night when you can definitely not see it.
Not see them. You just hear them and you try and shush them, like, get out of here, get out of here. And they always come back. Oh, so annoying.
Yeah, sometimes you are so annoyed that you can also slap yourself during the night because you think you have them on your body, but you don't have them on your body. They are just, flying around you.
Yeah, so true. Oh, gosh.
But anyway, let's go back to
Yeah.
Malaysia. And let's end with some food. If you don't want to eat Chinese food, because it's not really Malaysia type of food, you can have the traditional nasi lemak. That is a rice cooked with coconut, and it is super tasty. And I tried something similar here in Italy. Of course, it was from Malaysia because the people that did it was from Malaysia, but the ingredients are different. We don't have the same experience that we have from the home country when we eat something that is made in another country. But still, it was super delicious, and I really love rice. I really love coconut, and rice and coconut was just a perfect combination.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah.
I agree. Great dish. Coconut goes really well with when you mix it in, as you said, with rice in like almost a curry type of thing.
Yeah, also with spicy, it just adds a little bit of sweetness that complete all the dishes. And yeah, I remember eating this amazing curry. It was super hot, but with that coconut on the side, it was just so refreshing.
Perfect.
And you wanted to eat more of it because it was super delicious.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds lovely.
And if you want to try another dessert, you can try the sandal. But if you are more into salty food, roti canai is the one for you. Is more similar to Indian type of cuisine, so it's not as spicy, but still spicy. And we end with Lebanon. This is my third country, and I didn't know about it, but Lebanon, it has ski resort. So yes, I didn't know. And it was not the first time this year that Lebanon had some athletes in the Olympics. The first participation was in 1948.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it has a long history, even though it's not that big of a history with not a lot of athletes. I didn't know about it, and I was like, wow.
I didn't know this.
How good is that?
This is the first time I'm hearing about Lebanon and the chance that it's not only has ski resorts, but has participated in the Olympics. Wow.
Yes.
That's cool.
It's really cool. And this year, the athletes in the Olympics were Andrea El Hayek. He was an alpine skier and also a slalom skier. and Samer Twak. He is a cross-country skiing. He participated to the 10-kilometer freestyle. Even though they train also outside their country, they also train in their country, and the ski resort are in Mount Lebanon, especially in Mazar Kefar Debian and in Cedar of God skiing area. These are the two locations where they usually go to train in Lebanon.
Yeah, I do think it's worthy to mention that some of these countries that we didn't know were traditionally winter sport countries actually do have a history of winter sports. And now I'm curious. I'm curious to hear more about Lebanon.
And we're gonna start talking about Tripoli. Tripoli is known for its medieval architecture and Mamluk heritage. The citadel of Raymond de Saint-Gilles is overlooks the city. It has traditional soap factories and a sweet shop line the old souk. So you have this beautiful smell of soap. I don't know if you ever have the chance to smell homemade, handmade soap. Is super smelly, but in a good way.
It usually not what you want to hear with soap is smelly, but in this way, I've smelt a few, and it can be like great, like very strong but natural scents.
I bet that if you buy one of these soap, your skin will super soft. It will be super soft. That is the beauty of handmade soap, because the quality is different.
It's all about the quality, and it seems that Lebanon, I didn't know they were known for handmade soap or soap in general, and to have massive markets just filled with that sounds very, very almost mystical and very cool.
This city is not as visited as the others. A city, for example, as Beirut, that I'm going to talk about after, but still it has a lot of cultural heritage. It offers you this glimpse of northern Lebanon, because Tripoli is up north. Another city which is really interesting is Byblos. It's one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. Its arable, castle, and archaeological layers spans thousands of years, so that's crazy. And the city played a key role in the development of the Phoenician alphabet. And there are also old souk. They are charming and picturesque with all the colors. Because the souk in Africa, in northern Africa, in all Africa, are super colorful, because there is fabric, there is a lot of spice. There is a lot of gold actually.
Yeah.
And it's super cool because they always want to give you something.
That's true. I do think it's one of the most interesting things is to visit a souk market and just see the different types of wares and unique things on sale. And I visited a large souk in Dubai, and that was a unique experience in itself.
Also, when I went to Dubai, I visited the souk. There are many souk, but I visited one of the souk that were there, and it was just incredible. You couldn't stop, because if you stop, you will immediately need to bet something or to make a deal, because
so true.
You cannot stay there and simply watch. You need to buy something. Or they try to make you buy something, because that's the souk. That's the atmosphere of the souk. So yeah. And actually that happened to me. I bought a lot of spices. I went home with, I don't know, my suitcase was just half of spices, and then the rest of my was just clothes. So yeah, that happened. At least they were super good. I mean, I really enjoyed them when I went home and started cooking with them. So.
Hey, that's all that matters. As long as they did what they needed to do and were really good quality.
Yeah, so Byblos and Tripoli are just extremely rich in history and also culturally. Beirut is a little bit different type of city. because it has a contrast. It has this Mediterranean coastline and a lively conical scenic landscape, but it has a really vibrant arts and nightlife scenes. Goes in contrast with a historical neighborhood that stands beside the modern reconstruction that they did not many years ago. You have the ancient heritage and also the contemporary dynamism of the city. A lot of the capital, actually, a lot of the city nowadays has this contrast between old and new in the same area, and it's so cool to see it. You just look at part, you see the modern thing, then you look at the other part and see the Asian buildings, and so cool.
I think it's nice that they're trying to maintain and renovate and make sure that these old parts of the city still are a part of the new city as it grows. That's very unique.
We maintain and we don't distract. That's the important thing.
Yeah, it's important.
And to handle the traditional of Lebanon are, of course, something that maybe you already know, you already hear about it, but baklava. Baklava is super good. It's a super delicious dessert with a lot of honey.
Yes.
With a lot of pasta filo. That is so delicious. It just melts in your mouth.
That is one of my best desserts, and yeah, even just thinking about it, I have to try and find some now.
And with those, with a little piece of nuts
or pistachio,
it really depends.
Yeah.
Give that touch. So good, so good. If you want some normal dishes, you should try the tabbouleh and also the kibbeh. They are salty and just super tasty as well, but a little bit spicy, so be careful.
I mean, but you wouldn't be going to Lebanon. You should expect some good spice.
Yes, that definitely is true. So these are my 3 countries. We went to Benin, then to Malaysia, and returned back to Africa with Lebanon. And then with you, we start strong with Kenya, your home country.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then we went to Jamaica with a little bit of swing and music and sound. And then we end with the magical and whimsical New Zealand.
New Zealand. Yes. I think we've done well, and we've managed to cover some great countries, and that's just perfect.